One is a twisted string, pretty thick, and one is like a pretty decent cord. I know I'm all over the place. Okay. These are the two kinds of string that I use. They're both very strong, but they will break if you pull too tight, too hard. Especially this thinner one. It's strong, but it will break. It looks like some kind of a hemp rope, hemp string. It's stiff. But anyway. And with the recent bills, this one comes in 3 strands. And then those strands then break down into strands. So, what I do is separate these strands into 3 strands, and I use it to attach the teeth. Tuck them under, like so, and put it on the inside of the skull. Now, I do have a couple that's already attached. I put glue in between the skull and the teeth, and then later I will layer some more over the top, making it even, cutting it until it's even, flush. The teeth are flush with the skull, and then the last layer or 2 will be coming over the top, making this all one piece. And the teeth will be showing, and then I'll separate the teeth and drill holes for the individual teeth so I can put the gums in. Drill holes, and then I could attach the gums through the drilled holes and pull that through tight. And it'll all come looking just, once I pull it tight, it'll have the curve of, when I pull it up, it'll have the curve of gums. And the holes will be where the lowest part of the gums to the teeth. So I have all of that planned out. I built this like 100 times in my head over the years. But my problem is procedural mistakes. What should I do first? What should I do second? What should I do third? Like, I should put the arms in before I put the rib cage, because how I'm putting it in, it helps me to gauge how big the rib cage should be. So, and my problem with this, my first thing I didn't put the teeth in. I cut the eye holes, and I put the spine on, which was a mistake. And I was using weak materials, and I got better materials now. So that first one I might not be able to use. I might have to ditch that one altogether, or keep it to the side. I put things on that I should have waited for last, like the eye holes and other things. So what I'm going to do is these. I'm not going to cut the eye holes until last. That's the last thing. After the spine is put in, and the skin and the ribs are built, and I start actually putting the muscles on. After the muscles and everything, the last thing I'm going to do is the eyes. And that's before layering the skin. Matter of fact, I can layer the skin on the body because the head is going to be the last thing. I'm going to put it on like this. There's not going to be any seams for the arms. See, the seams are underneath. All along, there's this one seam from the going down the arm, down the side, to the hips, and then the legs go on. This is how I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, I will have a penis on my guy. The women will have boobs with nipples and a vaginal labia. I'm not going to put the vaginal canal because there's no need for that. I'm not going to have erections on my guys. I'm just not going to have no Ken doll. So these are totally intended to be anatomically correct, for the most part. Even going to have the butt, you're going to be able to peel the butt open. I might even have a puckered butthole there. But again, won't be able to stick anything in there. There's no need for that. It's not sexual well, not meant to be sexual. Who knows what people's minds will go to. But this is what gave me the idea, because how it moved. I saw how it moved, and hold on, let me move this out of the way. And I didn't even put, and the one I'm building is going to have shoulder blades, so that when you do this, you'll see the muscles crunch. And that's what I want. See how this happened? This is what made me say, I can do this. If I made something bigger, I can make something that actually distends the pecs. The pectoral muscles will distend. This is supposed to be a female. This is where I believe I'm going to have trouble making breasts. See, I don't know how I'm going to make the breast that teardrop shape. This was supposed to be hanging over, teardrop shaped like breasts. And it came out looking like a big bulky man. So I wanted it to be a strong female, muscular female, like a Power Girl, but I went the wrong way with it. So, like I said, this stuff taught me lessons. It's my first attempt at doing it in this new technique. But the only thing, this is about 6, 7, 8 inches tall. And these are going to be somewhere near 20, 22 inches tall, 23 inches tall. I made allowances in measuring the spine and the ribs for extra layers on the skull. So it's going to be thicker. So I've made allowances because I've measured with that head scale, 8 head, and then I use the other method with the square box for the back part of the head. It's a circle, and it takes more, but it's more accurate. And I use that, so I figured that extra little bit on each circle will give me extra length in the body and make up for any mess ups. Like the head won't be too big. It shouldn't, because after this, I got to put a couple more layers. Then I have to put layers for the skin. So all of those extras that I allowed for should make the body big enough so that the head doesn't come off so swollen. So I'm hoping that I did that right. I don't want the head to be monstrous on this little body. But then again, the way I'm building the ribs, that's going to add size, but I'm starting off narrow, and I'm making it, and I'm going to add a layer of plastic so that I can layer the ribs on, and then I'm going to cover that with cloth. So that's going to get bigger. So that's why I'm not showing you everything right now, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm feeling everything out, and I'm finding my way. I'll do it. I was just while searching the internet, trying to find out everything I can about cloth figure making. There were people who said that I should expose what I'm doing to the world as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if I don't get things finished a year from now, but people should get to know what I'm doing and see what I'm doing if I want to get out there. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So for now, here's my startup. This is what I'm pitching. I even want to make one of those, Shea, where all of the muscles are exposed, but that's going to take a lot longer because you have a lot of underlying muscles that have to go in. And when with these, I'm trying to get to the finished product, so I'm not going to put every last muscle in. I'm just going to try to put the overlaying muscles, the one that show the most, and fake the rest, and see what I can accomplish. If I see that building everything is the better way to go, then I'm going to move from there. See, that's why I'm building 2 and 3 at a time, because when I make a mistake with the first one, I instead of stopping, if it was just one that I'm building at a time, then I would have to stop, figure it out, and work out the problem in my head and make a whole lot of mistakes on the one figure, taking it apart, putting it back together, taking it apart, putting it back together, because I hate throwing things away. Like I said, I didn't know we was poor, but I did know that I had to be stingy with how I used my supplies, like drawing paper. I had to erase. I couldn't just throw it away. So I hate throwing things away. So I have to fix it. So making 2 or 3, I can go to the next one, fix the mistake, work out the mistake on the next one, and go back to the first one and repair. If I have 3 working, then I can work out the best way with using all 3. If I have difficulties with the second one, I'll move on to the third, work it out, then move back to the first, repairing the first, then the second, repairing or catching up to the third. And so, like I said, these came out a little bit bigger. So one of them, this one with the big head, I think this one is the biggest, roundest head. Yeah. This one I'm going to put horns on. They were supposed to, my first ones, these first 3 that I made like this, they were supposed to be all creatures, because I didn't have flesh tones material, knit material. I had no flesh tones, but I had black, I had blue, and I had gray. So I was going to make a gray dude that looked like that creature from 300 with the jagged teeth and the big sword that tried to take what's the guy's name? What's the king? Leonidas tried to take his head off. They had him chained up in the fight, and then they let him loose. I was gonna make something. He was gonna be the skinniest one that I made. Then I was gonna make some semi-muscular, who was gonna be the black one. He's gonna be all black with white hair. I don't know if I was gonna make him some kind of god or whatever. But then the third one was gonna be a demon. He's gonna be blood red, real deep burgundy color, and with black hair, with horns. That's one thing I want to do. I want to put some horns on them. I'm going to get some wood off the trees outside and cook it, and burn it a little bit in the places that I need, and sand it down to make it look like horn. And I'm going to put it in the skull, right through the skull, embed it into the skull. The only thing is procedure. Do I do it early, or do I do it after, just before I'm putting the skin on? And I'll push it through the skin and then into the skull, which would be one of the first things that I do before attaching the nose, eyes, eyelids, lips, all of that. So procedure is what's been holding me up, doing things backwards, because nobody's done it. I'm the first one. So wish me luck, people. I can't think of anything else I need to tell you right now besides I want these characters to look as good as those statues, just posable. I intend for these to be the evolution, like I was saying earlier, the evolution of cloth figure making, the evolution of my personal cloth figure making, and the evolution of mannequins. I pay attention to those mannequins they've been putting up, those stiff plastic ones that they've been putting up that you can't fold their legs, you can't cross their arms, if they fall they break. and the new mannequins that they got with Arnold Schwarzenegger made of 100% polyester, I'm going to crush all of that. I'm going to crush all of that. The only thing is I can't mass market my stuff. Every one of mine is going to be one of a kind. Only one in the world. No two will ever look the same in any kind of way, shape, or form. But and they will be expensive if I ever get around to selling any. They will be extremely expensive because they take a long time. Like I said, I'm making a bunch of them at one time so that I can streamline the process. Once I get it down, the process should move along faster. I hope to make at least one a month. If not, three every 2 months. I hope to get it somewhere around there, and that's completely. If I ever get around to being able to sell them, I want them to have regular street clothes of the person's choosing, and along with some type of battle pack, uh, some kind of armor of whatever kind, because I want to make gladiatorial armor. I want to make scale armor. I want to make, well, chainmail is going to be very difficult and time consuming. So I don't know, but I will have some leather, and I will have leather armor combined. That's what I'm going to be doing a lot of, combining leather and mail, scale metal armoring wrapped in metal, like on the pauldrons and on the braces and on the greaves, and some patches like on the chest plates, and maybe some ornamental things in the center. I plan on doing all of that. My mother did help me get tools while she was alive. I was able to stockpile different types of metalworking tools like die and punch sets. So I want to be able to make swords, real metal swords with leather sheaths, leather armor, all for these characters. I want them to look good. I want them to look posable, and I want them to be able to stand on his own. 100% posable. Mouth, lips move, tongue will be able to stick out. And even, well, I'm not gonna say that. That's one thing but I want his clothing, the knees I want to be working properly, the ankles, the toes will move, the fingers will bend and point. You'll be able to hold weapons. I want to make guns for them. I want to make all kinds of different battle weapons, and then I'm going to eventually want to make some kind of action comic books leading to movies, some type of stop action animated movies. I figured I'll use SketchUp to make backgrounds and scenes, buildings, and cityscapes, and all types of that. If I can make one city for these guys to, I figured at first I'll start off with a jungle scenery because I don't have any clothes. So I have old leather jackets of mine that are too small. I'm gonna cut up and make like loincloths for them to start off with, and I'll make some knives. I used to make knives out of tongue depressors and popsicle sticks. Well, I want to do that again with real metal and make swords. I watched that Forge and Fire. I want to make real swords. I'm not going to temper them. I just want to make metal swords and metal weapons, all kinds of different metal swords and weapons. I want to make maces. I don't know if I'm going to make those real because they're going to be heavy, and I'm going to want them to be able to hold them and pose with them. So with hammers and maces, I might make them lighter materials, wood or plastic, and make it cover it with aluminum or something like that, or cover it with solder if solder is not toxic. I got to check into that. But and then polish it and make it what I needed to make, or stain it, dye it. I hear you can dye metal. From watching that Forged in Fire, you can dye metal with certain chemicals and acids or whatever. So all of these things I plan on using. I want to make a total workshop, a total studio. I have to get started with making with probably getting copyrights and trademarks on the names and stuff that I want to do. I already got a company that I started, but I'm gonna need to get more started. I got some websites that I got to finish making. I got the domain names, but I got to make the websites and attach the domain names to the website.